Shane van Gisbergen mastered the field with a dominant NASCAR Cup Series victory in the Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, aka the Roval, on Sunday, October 5th. Van Gisbergen's season-long dominance on road course events, including notching another victory to his rookie campaign at the Roval, occurred at a time where the 2025 Cup Series playoffs completed its second round, the round of 12, that eliminated another set of 4 playoff competitors from title contention, with Van Gisbergen not being affected by the outcome of his victory. Greetings, race fans and motorsports enthusiasts around the world. My name is Andrew Kim, and this is Retro Motor Vibes, where I highlight anniversary stories and break down motorsports events near and far. For today's audio episode, here is a full breakdown of the 2025 Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway Road Course, a 2.320-mile, 17-turn venue in Concord, North Carolina. Without further ado, let's break the event down. The event's starting lineup was determined through an on-track qualifying session, where the field of 37 starters were split into 2 qualifying groups. From this, each group was given 20 minutes to post a qualifying lap. And once both group qualifying sessions were completed, the times were combined and the fastest lap was awarded the pole position. At the conclusion of Saturday's qualifying session, Tyler Reddick sped to his 11th Cup Series career pole, his second of the 2025 season, and his second at the Roval, with a pole-winning lap at 95.510 miles per hour and 85.939 seconds. The competitor whom Reddick just knocked off from pole position was Shane van Gisbergen, the latter of whom posted his best qualifying lap at 95.474 miles per hour and 85.971 seconds. Nevertheless, Van Gisbergen achieved his second consecutive front row start at the Roval. Prior to the event, 2 Toyota competitors, Riley Herbst and Eric Jones, were forced to start at the rear of the field due to unapproved adjustments that were made to their respective Toyota entries. The event's first stage period spanned the event's first 25 laps. Within this period, there were 3 lead changes for 3 different leaders and no cautions. Despite there being no cautions, notable on-track incidents that occurred included Kyle Busch wrecking on the opening lap and in the first turn against the wall. Then, nearing the lap 10 mark, playoff contender Austin Cindric spun, which occurred not long after he also missed the backstretch of chicane turn and drove off the course. At the front of the field, Tyler Reddick led the first 3 laps before he was overtaken by Shane van Gisbergen for the lead. And through an early cycle of green flag pit stops that commenced on the 10th lap, Van Gisbergen, who pitted on lap 14, charged his way back into the lead by lap 20, and he captured a first stage victory, which was his third of the 2025 season. The event's second stage period spanned 22 laps from lap 29 to 50. During this stage period, there were 2 lead changes for 2 different leaders, and like the first stage period, no cautions. But during this stage, Cindric's difficult start to the event went from bad to worse when he was hit and sent for a spin by Carson Hocevar due to a front stretch chicane on lap 32. The incident left Cindric with a broken toe link to his entry that forced him to drive to the garage for repairs and mathematically took him out of playoff contention. At the front of the field, AJ Allmendinger, a former Charlotte Roval winner, dominated this recent stage period by leading the field at the stage's start and leading 12 laps overall. But to do 2 cycles of green flag pit stops, one that started on lap 37 and another on lap 46, and of course do various pit strategies amongst the field, Ryan Blaney ended up cycling to the lead and capturing the second stage victory, which was his 9th of the year. The event's third and final stage period spanned 55 laps from lap 55 to 109. This stage period featured 8 lead changes for 2 different leaders and a single caution for 3 laps. The caution occurred on lap 57 when Austin Dillon wrecked against the tire barriers in turn 5. Meanwhile, Van Gisbergen, who led the most laps at 28, was intimidated by Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell for the victory on the track, while various pit strategies for tire management continue to be the theme of the event. With many names pitting between 2 and 3 times for tires for the event's conclusion, Van Gisbergen engaged in a heated on-track battle with Larson that involved rubbing fenders and bumping into one another, starting with 14 laps remaining before Van Gisbergen had the final move with 12 laps remaining. From there, Van Gisbergen cruised to victory by a whopping 15 seconds over Larson. With the victory, Van Gisbergen achieved another unprecedented accomplishment within his first full-time season of Cup Series competition by becoming just the second competitor ever to achieve 5 consecutive victories on road course events. Van Gisbergen's Charlotte Roval victory was also his first at the track and the 6th of his Cup career. In addition, he achieved the 6th victory of the year for Trackhouse Racing and the 14th for Chevrolet. Here are the full race results of the 2025 Bank of America Roval 400. The drivers highlighted in bold indicate that they are playoff competitors. In addition, the competitors highlighted with 1 asterisk indicate they recorded stage points in at least one of the event's first 2 stages, while the drivers with 2 indicate that they recorded points in both stages. Notably, Ross Chastain was racing in 18th place on the final lap before he was overtaken by Denny Hamlin. Hamlin's move jeopardized Chastain's hopes of transferring to the playoffs round of 8 as he went from a 1-point advantage over the reigning champion Joey Logano to tied with Logano for the transfer spot, with Logano owning the tiebreaker. With time running out, Chastain sped his car due to final front stretch chicane with the finish line in sight in his attempt to bump and move Hamlin out of the way to regain the 18th spot. Chastain's move, however, did not go as planned as both he and Hamlin spun. And despite Chastain's attempts of reversing his car to the finish line to still make the cut, he was overtaken by 3 competitors, including Logano, and settled in 21st place. As a result, Chastain, who had to overcome a pair of earlier misfortunes that involved overshooting the exit of pit road and losing 15 spots in the process before he then sped late on pit road, missed the cut line by 4 points over Logano, the latter of whom maintained his hopes of defending his series title with a 20th place result. Another notable mention in the result is Riley Herbst, who initially finished in 30th place, but ended up being demoted to 37th place, the tail end of the field, due to his entry not meeting the minimum measurement heights during a post-race inspection procedure. Next, here is the 2025 Cup Series playoff standings following the 6th postseason event. With the Charlotte Roval event serving as the 3rd and final event of the playoffs round of 12, the standings shown on the screen feature the top 8 playoff competitors who advanced, and also show the bottom 4 competitors who were automatically and officially eliminated from playoff contention, in which case it included Ross Chastain, Tyler Reddick, Bubba Wallace, and Austin Cindric. Overall, the 2025 Bank of America Roval 400 at the Charlotte Motor Speedway road course featured 15 lead changes for 6 leaders and 3 cautions for 10 laps. From the field of 37 starters, all but 1 finished the event overall, while 26 finished on the lead lap. Shane van Gisbergen's Cup Series victory on Sunday capped off a triple-header weekend of racing at the Charlotte Roval, where on Friday, Corey Heim won the inaugural Craftsman Truck Series event at the Roval after he rallied from being involved in an opening lap wreck and capitalizing on an overtime shootout to score his unprecedented 10th victory of the 2025 season. As a result, Heim set a new record for the most victories generated by a truck competitor in a single season at 10, and he automatically clinched an early berth to the Championship 4 round, where he will contend for his first series championship at Phoenix Raceway on October 31st. On Saturday, Connor Zillage achieved a similar feat to Heim by notching his 10th Xfinity Series victory of the year at his home track at Charlotte, after he capped off a dominant run from pole position, where he led all but 7 of 68 overscheduled laps and fed it off the field in overtime. Zillage's victory occurred in an event where the series round of 12 of the playoffs concluded, though he, along with teammates Justin Allgaier, Sammy Smith, and Carson Quapo, transferred to the next round, the round of 8. Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Jesse Love, and Sheldon Creed also transferred, while Taylor Gray, Nick Sanchez, Austin Hill, and Harrison Burton were eliminated from title contention. Next weekend, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series enters its final off-weekend period of the 2025 season before returning to action at Talladega Superspeedway in Talladega, Alabama for the Love's RV Stop 225 on October 17th. The Xfinity Series returns next Saturday, October 11th at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Las Vegas, Nevada for the Focus Health 302 as the series prepares to commence the round of 8. The event's broadcast time commences at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the CW Network, PRN Radio, and SiriusXM. The Cup Series also commences its round of 8 at Las Vegas the following date, October 12th, for the South Point 400. The event's broadcast time is slated to commence at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the USA Network, PRN Radio, SiriusXM, and HBO Max. That's all for this episode. Have a great rest of your day, and see you on the next episode of Retro Motor Vibes.